Stockholm, 14 islands, 150 bridges, and more ABBA museums than you'll ever need. But here's the thing, this city is so much more than meatballs and flat-pack furniture. Today we're going deep on Stockholm, Sweden's capital, and honestly one of the most livable, lovable cities on the entire planet. Whether you've got 48 hours or a full week, by the end of this video you're going to know exactly where to go, what to eat, how to get around, and how to dodge every tourist trap along the way. Let's get into it. Most international flights land at Stockholm Arlanda Airport, about 40 kilometers north of the city center. And here's where your first decision happens, the Arlanda Express train. It's fast, 18 minutes to Central Station, and extremely comfortable. But it costs around 320 Swedish kronor, which is roughly 28 euros or $30 one way. If that feels steep, the Arlanda Airport coach is a third of the price and takes about 45 minutes. Perfectly fine if you're not in a rush. Stockholm's public transport, called SL, is genuinely excellent. The metro, called the tunnelbana, connects the city's core in minutes. Buses fill the gaps. And there are ferries between many of the islands, which honestly might be the most scenic commute in Europe. Buy a loaded SL access card or use the SL app with a 24-hour, 72-hour, or 7-day pass depending on your trip length. A 24-hour pass runs about 175 kronor. For most visitors, it pays for itself by midday. Every Stockholm visit starts here, and for good reason. Gamla stan is the medieval heart of the city, a labyrinth of cobbled lanes, ochre and rust-red buildings, and history around every corner. The Royal Palace is the world's largest palace still used as an official royal residence. Catch the changing of the guard. It happens daily at noon in summer and draws a crowd, so stake your spot early. Stortorget, the main square, is one of the oldest squares in Stockholm. Have a coffee here, soak it in. But skip the tourist trap restaurants lining the square. They're overpriced and underwhelming. Walk one street back and you'll find far better options. If Gamla stan is Stockholm's history, Södermalm is its soul. This is where the creatives, the young professionals, and the truly excellent coffee shops live. Gatan is the main artery, lined with independent boutiques, vintage stores, and some of the best fika spots in the city. Fika, by the way, is the Swedish concept of a coffee break with pastries, and it is non-negotiable. We'll come back to it. For the best view in Stockholm, and I'll fight anyone who disagrees, walk the Monteliusvägen cliff path. Free, accessible, and absolutely staggering views over Gamla stan and Riddarfjärden Bay. Golden hour here is something else. Östermalm is where old money meets new money, and the architecture reflects it. Wide boulevards, Art Nouveau apartment blocks, and the stunning Östermalm Saluhall, a 19th century indoor food market that was completely renovated a few years back. It's not cheap, but the quality is extraordinary. Head here for Swedish delicacies. Gravlax, pickled herring, reindeer, and the finest crisp breads you've ever tasted. Djurgården is essentially Stockholm's cultural theme park, in the best possible way. It's a large island just east of the city center, accessible by ferry, bus, or a very pleasant walk. Skansen is the world's oldest open-air museum, 75 hectares of historical Swedish buildings, Nordic animals, and traditional crafts. It's remarkable. The Vasa Museum houses a 17th century warship that sank on its maiden voyage in 1628 and was raised from the harbor in 1961. It's one of the best preserved vessels of its era, and the museum built around it is genuinely world-class. Budget at least 90 minutes here. And yes, the ABBA Museum is here. It's camp, it's fun, and if you grew up with Dancing Queen on the radio, you will not regret it. These central districts are where Stockholm actually lives. Vasasten has a residential neighborhood feel with brilliant independent restaurants and the lovely Humlegarden Park. Norrmalm is the commercial core, Central Station, the main shopping streets, and Kungsträd Garden Park, which explodes with cherry blossoms every April. Let's talk food because Stockholm's culinary scene has transformed dramatically over the past decade. The city now has over a dozen Michelin-starred restaurants, but the more interesting story is what's happening at the everyday level. You cannot understand Swedish culture without understanding fika. It's the ritual of slowing down, coffee, something sweet, and good company. Swedes take it seriously. Most workplaces have a scheduled fika break. For visitors, fika is your excuse to duck into one of Stockholm's extraordinary cafes and sit for a while. Look for the kanelbulle, the cinnamon roll, or the kardemummaboll, the cardamom bun. Fabrik is a bakery chain that does them exceptionally well and has locations across the city. The Swedish meatball. Yes, you should have them. But skip IKEA, go to meatballs for the people in Södermalm. They serve multiple varieties including reindeer and moose, and the lingonberry jam is the real deal. Husmanskost is traditional Swedish home cooking. Think hearty dishes like pea soup on Thursdays, a genuine tradition, Janssons frestelse, a creamy potato and anchovy gratin, and pyttipanna, a kind of hash made from leftovers that is far better than it sounds. Herring is served multiple ways, pickled, fried, in cream sauce, and if you're at a proper Swedish lunch, you'll encounter it on the smorgasbord. Give it a genuine chance. For a proper splurge, Ekstedt is a Michelin-starred restaurant where everything is cooked over open fire and birchwood. It's theatrical and delicious. For something more casual with serious quality, head to Rolf's Coke in Vasasten, a neighborhood bistro beloved by locals for decades. Book ahead. Hodergshallen is an indoor market in the city center perfect for a quick, affordable lunch with excellent variety. Everything from sushi to falafel to traditional Swedish open-faced sandwiches. Sweden has a booming craft beer scene. Stockholm Brewing Company and Omni Pollo are local names worth knowing. Systembolaget is the state-run alcohol monopoly where all wine, beer, and spirits above 3.5% ABV must be purchased. It's closed Sundays, so plan accordingly. Aquavit is the traditional Scandinavian spirit, flavored with caraway or dill. It's an acquired taste, but trying it in a Swedish context, especially at Christmas or midsummer, is a proper cultural experience. We mentioned the Vasa Museum and Skansen on Djurgården. Those are non-negotiable. Here are a few others worth your time. Fotografiska is one of the world's great photography museums. It's housed in a gorgeous Art Nouveau customs building on the Södermalm waterfront, and the rotating exhibitions are consistently brilliant. It's also open until 11 p.m. most nights, making it a perfect evening activity. Moderna Museet holds one of Europe's strongest collections of modern and contemporary art. Matisse, Dali, Picasso, and admission is free for the permanent collection. It's on the island of Skeppsholmen, a short walk or ferry ride from the center. National Museum, Sweden's largest art museum, just completed a major renovation and is stunning inside. Swedish and Nordic art from the Middle Ages to the present, plus decorative arts and design. Stadshuset, Stockholm's City Hall, is one of the most beautiful municipal buildings in the world. This is where the Nobel Prize banquet is held every December in the Blue Hall, which, confusingly, is not actually blue. The architect changed his mind mid-construction and clad the walls in red brick instead, but the name stuck. The Golden Hall upstairs, where the Nobel dance takes place, is lined with 18 million gold mosaic tiles. Take a guided tour. They're offered in multiple languages, and the interior really can't be fully appreciated otherwise. Climb the tower between June and August for panoramic views over the city. 365 steps, no lift. Worth every one. Stockholm has a remarkable public art tradition. Beyond the tunnelbana stations, the Sofo neighborhood in Södermalm, south of Folkengatan, is dense with street art, independent galleries, and creative spaces. The city's design culture is also worth engaging with. Swedish design is world-famous for its emphasis on functionality and beauty. Visit an K department store or the design-focused shops on Biblioteksgatan to understand why Scandinavian aesthetics have conquered the world. This is Stockholm's secret weapon. Around 30,000 islands, islets, and skerries stretch from the city out into the Baltic Sea. In summer, they come alive with wildflowers, wooden cottages painted in traditional Falen red, and Swedes doing what Swedes do best, being outside. Day trips are very achievable. Vaxholm is the nearest island and a great introduction. A 70-minute ferry from the city, a charming fortress, and excellent seafood. For something wilder, Grinda or Sandom offer proper archipelago immersion. Vaxholmlaget runs the Archipelago ferries, and a Batlafarkert, an archipelago hopping pass, is excellent value if you plan to visit multiple islands. You can rent kayaks right in the city and paddle through the canals and around the islands. The route from Djurgården through Djurgårdskanalen past Skansen and back is about 2 hours of paddling with extraordinary views. No experience necessary, and rental companies provide full briefings. Stockholm is genuinely wonderful in every season, but they're very different experiences. Summer is peak season, endless daylight, outdoor everything, the archipelago fully open, and Swedes who've been cooped up all winter suddenly radiating joy. Midsummer in late June is a national celebration of almost pagan intensity. Dance around a flower-covered maypole, eat herring, drink schnapps. If you can be here for it, do it. Autumn brings spectacular colors and a food-focused festival season with calmer crowds. Winter is cold and dark but utterly magical. Christmas markets in Gamla Stan, the Jullbird Christmas buffet tradition, and a kind of hygge coziness that pervades every cafe and restaurant. And if you head north, the Northern Lights. Spring brings cherry blossoms to Kungsträd Garden and a city shaking off hibernation. Sweden uses the Swedish krona, SEK. Most places are cashless and will look mildly confused if you try to pay with banknotes. Contactless card payments are the norm everywhere. Cafes, museums, ferries, market stalls. Carry a card with no foreign transaction fees and you're set. Stockholm is genuinely expensive. Budget around 150 to 200 euros per day for a mid-range experience. Accommodation, food, activities, transport. That said, the free museum admissions, the parks, and the public spaces are among the world's best, and you can find excellent fika for very little. June through August is peak season. Best weather, everything open, maximum daylight. Book accommodation months in advance. May and September offer fewer crowds and still very pleasant conditions. December is worth it for the atmosphere, but pack layers. Swedish is the official language. You will not need it. English is spoken flawlessly by essentially everyone, including the very elderly, and Swedes tend to switch into English the moment they detect a foreign accent, sometimes before you even say a word. The Stockholm City Card is worth serious consideration if you plan to hit multiple museums and use public transport heavily. Covers entry to over 60 attractions including the Vasa Museum, Skansen, and Moderna Museet, plus unlimited SL transport. A 24-hour card costs around 669 kronor. Run your expected itinerary through the calculator on their website and see if the math works for you. Stockholm is very safe by any measure. Standard urban awareness applies. Watch for pickpockets in the major tourist areas of Gamla stan and around the central station, particularly in summer. Beyond that, it's a relaxed city with excellent infrastructure and very visible emergency services. Stockholm takes its environmental commitments seriously. It was named the first European green capital back in 2010. The city is walkable, cycle paths are excellent, and the public transport system is designed to make car use unnecessary. Lean into it. Walking between Gamla stan, Södermalm, and Östermalm is not only feasible, it's one of the great pleasures of being here. Stockholm is a city that earns its reputation the way the best places always do, not through hype, but through the accumulation of small, genuine moments. A cinnamon bun and a coffee on a rainy morning in Södermalm. The light hitting the water of Redarfjorden Bay at 10 p.m. in June and somehow still being gold. Standing inside the Vasa Museum and actually feeling the weight of history. Quiet of Riddarholmen when the day trippers have gone home. This is a city built on water, designed for humans, and utterly committed to the idea that life is supposed to be well lived. We hope this guide helps you make the most of your time there. As always, drop your questions in the comments. We read every single one. If you've been to Stockholm, tell us your favorite neighborhood, your hidden cafe, the thing you wish you'd known before you went. If this video helped you, hitting like and subscribing genuinely helps us make more of them. Links to everything we mentioned, the Stockholm card, Waxholmlegit ferries, the Arlanda Express, and our full written Stockholm guide, are in the description below. Safe travels. See you in the next one.